Three, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Ronn Pitts trip begins.
Perfect.
You're crazy, Ron, pretend that I'm sitting here and you're talking to me, Dr. Frame.
Okay.
And get your eyes off that senorita, man.
See this? Look at the perfect fingers.
All right, let's see. Pretend that I'm here, sitting here
Okay,
talking
you there?
to you. Yeah, while
You really are there.
yeah, I'm going to be sitting right about here.
Okay.
Let's see. Focus on my hand. This way. Yeah, fuck it. I just sit there.
You there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get...
You won't be sitting there.
No, I know how to do it.
Because I'll be here.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You move the camera.
Yeah. All right, don't worry about it. Don't worry. In about another hour, within the hour, when you get those sunglasses, you're going to be like, where were you all my life? You're going to be like, where?
I'll be a cool guy, yeah.
Where were you all my life? I mean, Spanish shit. So, kind of shout out, cheers to all the Chicago heavy hitters from your workshop. And
All right.
one.
There. That's what you do. There. How'd that look?
Salute.
That look cool, huh?
Yeah, you're the man, right? You're the man, baby. I'll leave it there for a second.
Drink Corona.
Sponsored by
Ron is a Corona drinker.
a Corona drinker.
You turn it on?
Yeah, I just gotta frame it right. Okay, let's see, you're looking at my hand.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get it right.
Whenever you're in Los Angeles, come by and see Miguel. He'll always have a beer for you.
Yes, sir. So tell us, Ron, what brings you to LA in 2005?
In 2005, what I really want to accomplish in 2005, what I'd like to do is bring in 2005 is find out if I could have more collaboration with the LA office and the Chicago office and find out how we could make some things work together. I'm sure we can.
Yes, sir. Tell me, Ron, give me a brief summary of your childhood. How?
Raised and born in Chicago. Very close to where I live now. Yeah, very close. In fact, about 2 blocks.
And your father was born where?
Father was born in Belize. My mother was from Kentucky. My mother was an interesting lady. She was a tough lady, but fair. I got loved all the time. I never thought about getting a whipping or anything because we always, I did everything right. Yeah, as a child. No, I never thought about getting a whipping or anything. I never got that.
What was your relationship with your father?
It was good. He taught different kind of ways. My mother was very happy and jovial. He was more, no, look, don't laugh. Let's look at this like this on the serious. So it gave me a good blend of being silly and also being practical. It gave me a good blend.
What's the best advice your father ever gave you?
The best advice. Well, to tell you the truth, my father gave me, in a weird way, my career.
How's that?
My father worked as a janitor at a theater. And so I'd go with him to look at the film, changing at night. Well, he'd sweep the theater down, and I'd look at a film and changing. And I thought of it as being wonderment, just looking at film being shown, and how do they do that, And that gave me my first, little thought way of thinking about being, not really thinking about being, because being black and on the street, we didn't have any aspirations to be anything else but either a policeman or postal worker or a bus driver.
At what age did you consider film?
I was was I think I was about 18, 19 when I was looking at it. You know.
And how did you get into the industry?
Jack Barron. I was a bookie. I was a horse bookie, I was a crook. I was illegal without being an alien. I was a legal original person born in Chicago, but I was, my mother got me a job. And it was at Barron's Incorporated. They rent cameras. And I learned how to rent cameras and take them apart and met a lot of people.
On what side of town was that on?
North side, you know, on Grand Avenue.
Was Mr. Bering there?
Oh, Jack Barron was there. Oh, yeah. He taught me everything I know. Gave me my basics of everything. He was the other father, in fact, along with several other people, Mr. Maury Blackman. Those people were like, you know, his second nature dads to you, when you needed them for advice on filmmaking. And when they always gave it to me, they wanted me to succeed. You could feel it. You know, it wasn't that their ego, they wanted me to make it happen.
And in those times, were there a lot of black filmmakers around?
There were none. There were none. I think, well, there was none that I can remember. I remember a couple of guys coming through and getting a camera, but they weren't really, they might shoot a film, but I wouldn't see them anymore at films. And it was like the center for film area.
Now, you said you studied under a particular person?
Yes, Mr. James Wong Howe. He was instrumental in me starting with my camera operations. And he would teach me moves and how, he taught me my fingers. He taught you how to use your hands and how to thread cameras lightly, which I could do because my mother thought of things very lightly, so we did a lot of things like that. Plus I was an athlete and loved sports, so it was only normal for me to be kind of agile with my fingers.
Now describe your teacher's
method?
Personal attributes. Was he a stern man?
No, not really. Not really. I can't think. Nobody. Stern. No, not at that time. It was serious. You know, not. And we didn't mind it being stern. What we call stern now. I didn't mind it because I knew he was giving me some good tips on how to make a movie.
What's the best advice he ever gave you?
Don't get bent out of shape. You know what we say now. But what he would say is don't get discouraged because you know where you are right now, and just keep on line with what you have, and you'll be there if you really want it. You know, if you don't want it, it won't be there for you. If you want it for real, it'll be there for you.
What kind of projects did you do with him?
No projects with him. He was shooting major league big-time movies. I couldn't work on those because of his union. And being non-union and being black, there weren't any black cameramen, and let alone being a union too. You know, so it was a whole other world there for us. No, it was very difficult for black people in the business. There was no business. Blacks didn't have a business. Mm-hmm. We weren't allowed to shoot films for news until 1973 in Chicago. That was, for me, that's not that long ago. And that's when we taught our first wave of blacks, Latins, and whites and women on shooting film for news.
No, elaborate on the fact that were you the first to operate in a time in Chicago? Or the knowledgeable one to operate in a time?
You know, I really don't know because I was before me. I knew there was Oscar Michelle, but to operate a lot, to shoot a lot, I think I was. You know, to me, there were people that came in and out of town. There were people that were in town. There was another person there that was shooting to Mr. Jim Strickland. He just retired from NBC. I remember him being out there. Other than that, that was it. That was it. You know, so when I went out and started shooting, it was kind of like a novelty. they almost had to hire me because there was no, if you wanted to shoot something black, they had to hire me because I was the only thing black in. So it was kind of good in its own.
What's the trick? What's the trick to operating in a time?
At the time, I think my mother. I think my mother and my father together collaborated with my brain, but me not knowing it, you know. And they told me that you can do anything you want to do. So that was the difference in that. To do anything you want, you can do it. You know, you're the best. I had that in my head. I had a great sister and a good brother, and they would pump the same thing. We knew we were okay, you know. So we didn't have any reservations about, you know, heavy stuff that most people have, sensitivities and just, you know. We didn't have that. We had more cooperation with each other. You know, although we were brought up as a child, not so much my mother, I was brought up like, like, we were brought up very racial, you know, not, it was a very racist era in that time. In fact, it was extremely racist. My mother, I was telling you, my mother had to go to take us to school with a butcher knife because grown men beat up my brother. Those things, someone said that, should I be mad at that? You know, permanently mad at that? I should be. Sometimes it gets you really, when you think about a man beating up your brother that's 2 feet tall or something. Yeah, it makes you kind of mad. It makes you kind of feel like I got to get him back kind of thing. But it's not that kind of way. It's, you find out that those were just those kind of people. Not all white people are bad. I had to learn that later on. And, but it was very devastating to, if you can imagine a little boy that's looking at his brother getting beat up. I was a little bit smaller than him, and you know, they beat him up, men. We just going to school, so my mother had to take us to school.
At that age, were you coherent about the fact that your mother...
No. I could see, but I couldn't, I could, you know, it registered. I'll never forget that. You know, I mean, it was a sight. But she made it playful. She never made it like we were in danger. So she kept our brains not, you know, I mean, moving around.
I see. And what was your first major industry, like your first break in the industry with you? Like your first big break where you felt it?
Not break. You know, I can't think of one. That, you know, really, I've been filmed for money. My first film for money. I took a girlfriend and me and her went to Nebraska. And I shot a Massey Ferguson tractor display. It came out perfect. I thought that I was the best filmmaker that ever walked the planet. For a while. Until my second film. And so,
hi, how are you?
Fine. That's pretty.
And your name?
Same thing, a copy.
No, she gave it.
You want enchiladas? Yeah, I'll tell her right now.
Hmm?
Yeah, she got mixed up. Yeah, I'll tell her. No, yo ordered dos,
okay.
Él ordenó enchiladas.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gracias. This is blocking our damn view. So you were saying about your first paying gig.
Yeah, it was a good one. Yeah, so we went to where did we go?
Nebraska.
Nebraska, and made a commercial. Not a commercial, a film about, you know, tractors, and it came out good. It came out real good. I was real happy with that. I went back into Maury Bucket and told him, look at my film. And he looked at it and he said, pointed out little areas where it was not quite perfect. I took it, but I still had a heart in it. I'm good. Until my second film.
What was that thought with the second film? I like that.
My second film.
Gracias, amiga. Now, before you talk about your second film, you mentioned to me personally that your first film did well, and you thought you were a god.
Oh, yeah. Nobody could beat me shooting.
Because you were trained by the master.
Right.
And then you go on to say that your second film didn't do well.
It was lousy.
Why didn't your second film do well?
Maybe because I didn't listen to my in the first film of looking at critical things, and so it was a lesson. It was a lesson, an early lesson. I'm glad I got an early lesson in there, and the lesson came out okay.
But
yeah,
you told me, you elaborated to me a few months ago that your second film really had an impact artistically where you felt, where you were vulnerable to, where you seen your dark day, where you said you were crying on your mother's lap. And could you elaborate on that?
I wasn't, I was whiteballed, not blackballed, whiteballed out of the industry. So let's get that word straight. Black ain't always bad, you know. The guy with the black hat in school too, you know. Yeah, I got that. No, it was kind of like I was taking too much of their, not really, I wasn't making no money. But they saw a black person was making movies. They didn't want that. They didn't want that. They wanted to freeze me out from working. I was ready to quit because I knew I couldn't start up. But I knew how much power the whites had, so there was no, I didn't have a chance.
But how did that impact hit your heart, though?
It hurt me because I wanted to quit. But my mother didn't want me to. She didn't let me.
You said you were crying on her lap.
I was crying on her lap. And I wanted to quit. You know. And she didn't want me to quit because I had to win. I mean, that was everything was winning. You know.
Could you quote your mother? Because you told me exactly. Could you quote exactly what your mother said when you were crying on her lap?
She said something like, well, she petted me like a kid, and then asked me to get up and do what I've got to do. She said, "This is what you like." She knew nothing about money. She wasn't into that. She just knew this is what I wanted to do. And she had put it in my mind that I could do it because I was, I come from her, I come from my father, and so I had to have a backbone. She kind of re-emphasized, wait a minute, you're part of me, and I don't operate like that. Here's the way I operate. And so I put my mind on you're right, and I don't need to operate like that either. So I can operate a little bit better. I've got to go back out, and I got to kick some butt. And that's what she basically said in her own way. Not saying that my mother didn't cuss. A lot of bad language. But she did it in a friendly way when she was through. And go back out there and kick some butt, basically. And it was a turning point for me because I had to do just that. And she reinforced my thought of, yes, you can do this. This is what you want to do, man. Knock it off.
I see what you mean. But how did you handle on the sets, all the sets you worked on where you were like the quote unquote the black sheep? How did you handle when they were evil to you?
Number one, I knew I was more superior. That's messed up. But I knew that. My mind, I knew that. You know, I mean, my mind told me, nobody can get you. I still had that attitude, and I still keep it. Nothing's wrong with that. I thought it was something wrong with that, was ego. Nothing wrong with that. Because I filled my head with that. And nobody could. When I put my mind on it and focus, nobody could get me. Okay, and I look at movies being made now. Could I do them better? Shooting wise? Oh, yeah, yeah. There's nobody that can get it, that I know of. I think every filmmaker should have that attitude. If you don't, I think you're just taking them, well, he's better than, I can't even think of somebody being better than me if I'm on my game. Nobody can get it. And I know that for sure. If I'm on my game, nobody can get it.
What is the key principle to being an effective camera operator?
Steadiness. Concentration. And your concentration will carry you over. You have the superior concentration. You have to think about your framing, and that's part of your concentration. You have to know if you have a Zoom and you're interviewing, you have to know when this person is calling you in or not. It's a mental thing between you, the camera, and your receptor. And so once you learn those rhythms, okay.
And do you learn those rhythms by first starting off by assisting?
You learn a lot of things by assisting opposed to shooting. That's what I learned on my shit. Because I could go out and assist everybody. You know, and I saw the way this director worked, that one, yeah, pretty good. You know, so I knew how to direct. He just taught me, you know. Shooting, I know how to shoot. You know.
What prompted you to write, produce, and direct The Murder of Fred Hampton?
I didn't produce it.
No.
Right. I was shooting. Mike Gray. Remember back then, blacks didn't have any money. Mike Gray orchestrated that whole thing. And very unusual for a white person to orchestrate a movie like that, you know, and be concerned about black problems back in that time. Very unusual. But these guys are very unusual. They went the opposite way of everything. But I like them. I like them the way they operate. So I was part of that team. I'm very fortunate to be a part of that team. But we had a bunch of guys working on it.
And you're known in the industry to have that relationship with other people, such as Stephen Poster.
Mm-hmm.
How did you meet a young Stephen Poster?
When he was a baby. No, when he was a kid. No, when Stephen knows each from he was a kid. And I go get him a kid. Yeah, you always have hustler. I mean, not hustling for money, but a film hustler. You're really hard-nosed filmmaker. To be a young kid, he's one of the bright spots of my life. You know? And
describe to me a young Stephen Poster when you first met him.
Eager. One word, eager. I'll take care of that. Very eager.
What qualities other than eagerness did you see in him? Was he afraid to be in the neighborhood?
He went anywhere. He went anywhere. And I make sure that anybody with my crew, if something happened, I want to be the first one to go. I want to hire you if I'm in my neighborhood because you're Mexican and it's a black neighborhood. I don't want that to be. If somebody should say, "Hey, we're gonna beat him up," no, they gotta beat us up. You know, or we might beat them up. You know, so it doesn't make any difference. You know, but he was quite relaxed when it came to my neighborhoods and stuff like that.
Could you elaborate on that one time when a young Stephen Poster knocked on Elijah Muhammad's door? What did
he said, "We want to shoot Elijah Muhammad." Filmmaker talk bad for the black Muslims. They didn't play that "I'm going to shoot Elijah Muhammad" too well. So they jacked him up. And I told them what it was. We say shoot, not photograph. You know, we say, but we said we want to photograph. They would have heard that. When you say shoot, it picks them up a little bit.
What if any memories do you have of a young Stephen Poster? What was his strengths and weaknesses at that young stage?
You know, I can't really think of so far back. You know, we were all sometimes weak and sometimes strong and whatever.
What's the fondest memory you have of Stephen Poster at that young age?
Oh, you know what? He's the only person that I know right now that's worked with my brother. With me and my brother. My older brother, Pastor. So, that was important. You know, to me, right now, he's the only guy that worked with me and my brother. You know.
Was your brother in the business?
My brother was worked for CTA.
What was your relationship with your
And okay. Ready? All right, I'm at base camp. I'm here with Miguel Sosa. That's Sammy Sosa's cousin. He doesn't hit many home runs, but he does have a house for people to come to. If you need to come to California to talk about some crazy stuff and freaky things, this is the house to go to. He's got plenty of beer. He just told me he had 12 of them. He had 24. How many big bottles of beer you got?
12.
12 bottles of beer on the wall. You know, anyway, we got a bunch of beer, and we got plenty of women. So just come right on in. I'll show you.
Is
anybody there?
not speaking English?
No. That's not fair. Okay, Miguel, can you shoot? You can't shoot a stop sign. This is for you, Felix, you, Veronica, okay, and all of the nice people in my classroom, such as
Andrew.
Medora and Andrew Ski, all right, and Taiwan Smith, who tries to be cool, and who else have we got that tries to be cool? Jerry Smith. You know, they're brothers. No, they're not brothers. They're brothers, though, right? Okay, but they're not real brothers. All right, we got those guys. We got Taiwan Smith. We got Jerry Smith, and we got Tiffany Hall. Okay, all the squares. I'd like you to know I'm here in California talking big stuff.
What part of California you in, Ron?
I don't know where am I.
We're in East Los, baby, 3752.
3052. What is that? East what?
East Floral.
East Floral. You know.
Have a seat, baby. Have a seat.
No, there's a dog. Let's go over and talk
Let's
to
go
you.
talk to the dog.
All right, let's go talk.
See what's up with the dog pound.
I walk cool when I talk to the dog. Hey, baby. Is he cool? Is that dog?
So like,
Huh?
so like, he said.
It's cool. That's a cool fucking dog.
Have a seat, baby.
I gotta get out of here, Miguel. My legs are killing. I gotta rest.
Yes, sir. Just say your piece.
I've said my piece, and I don't want to hear about this no more. Now, get out that camera out of my face.